Hi guys, Kim here. Welcome to Backyard Blooms. In today's video, we are going to do the end of July garden tour. So I'm pretty excited. I've got a lot of things to show you, some things that I've done over the last couple of days and some things that I need to do that I'm going to talk about. And yeah, so you can tell that I have my uniform on for my medical when the ultrasound job meets the YouTube world. So I did my ultrasound job this morning and I really need to get out and get this garden tour done before the end of July. And honestly, you guys, I just didn't even feel like going in and changing. And that's one thing about gardening. Some of the things that I really miss about coming out and gardening is just coming out and not caring what my makeup looks like, what my hair looks like, and what I've got on, honestly. So when you do YouTube, you have to think about all those things and you have to get ready just to come out and do garden tours. So the last couple of days, honestly, coming back from vacation, I'm just like, I just don't even care. Like, I just need to get out and just garden and get some of this stuff done. And I'm sure you guys can relate. So I'm just going to tell you what I've done over the last couple of days and what I needed to do in my garden to make things look better. When I was on vacation, we got 2 really bad rainstorms. And then since then, we've had a couple more. And you guys, when I say it rains, it pours here in Charlotte, North Carolina, Zone 8, it rains and pours here. And sometimes we just can't fight with Mother Nature, right? So if you're faced with something like that, it's just what it is, and we have to deal with it. Last year, I didn't have droopy hydrangeas. Well, guess what? This year, I have droopy hydrangeas, and we're just going to embrace it, and we're just going to love it, and we're still going to show it off anyways because they're still gorgeous blooms. So let me turn the camera around and show you what my garden looks like in the end of July. All right, so I don't know where to start at today, but we're just going to start in my backyard. And this is my backyard oasis. And when I developed this garden from scratch, so it's nothing out here, not a single tree, not nothing, I knew that I wanted a living fence. So it's almost there, not quite, but almost. And I just did a little video on this hydrangea garden right here. I talked about like what you needed to know about what's spectacular about these little lime hydrangeas. And I also talked about the emerald green arborvitaes or arborvitaes behind them. So make sure you watch that video. Sasha's gonna join us today. Sasha, she's ignoring me. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. Say hi. So the grass is looking great because it's got a ton of rain, and everybody seems to think that Bermuda does not need a lot of rain. Well, it loves the rain and water actually. So I do have this on irrigation as well. So let's just come over here and start on this corner. So these roses are doing really pretty. This is the first year that I've tried to get them to be trained up against this arbor. But look how pretty that yellow rose is, you guys. This is the David Austin yellow climbing rose, and it's so pretty. So I do need to go ahead and like grab something to go ahead and stake this up on the arbor to get it like trained. But I'm hoping like next year, I've got 2 that'll completely be covered next year. So that is what that's looking like. Sasha's like, I want to get through. And then like I already talked about are these little lime hydrangeas. And I think I have about 12, and this whole hedge right here is about 70 feet. So you can tell like they do get heavy from the blooms, and it rained this morning. So let's see how much water we can shake off. Yeah, so lot of water still in these, but the wind, you guys, is what did this. That made all those limbs kind of hang over. But you can see my hedge of arborvitaes now. They look really pretty. So make sure you go back and watch that video. I thought it was pretty helpful. I got like some tips of things that you needed to know about the little lime hydrangeas, and then I also talked about tips of the arborvitaes too. And I found a lot of that on just Google. So these hanging baskets are looking beautiful. And I keep saying that I'm going to do like a whole video and just tell you what all these plants are in these containers here. So I do have a tree that needs to be taken out. This limelight standard tree right here needs to be taken out. At the very beginning of this year, we had a lot of rain and it just kind of really pulled right in here. I don't know if you could see. You could see right now, like just what little bit rain we've had right this morning, how it just kind of pulls there. So this buddleia tree right here, butterfly bush tree, kind of suffered just a little bit from that as well. You see how wet it is even when I poke my foot down here. So it just doesn't drain really good, even though it's a good slope right here. And I'm not sure what happened to my petunias there, but it's not liking any life right now. But look at the sedum, like these are gorgeous, don't you think? I'll be excited when they kind of bloom. I had some that bloomed early, and then some that are starting to come out right now. It's teeny tiny little flowers. But I do like sedum, and I do love how it looks around rocks too. If you guys aren't like sure what you want to do around a rock wall, like this is really pretty. And yeah, that's a weed. Look at all the little thorns on that. I need to get that pulled up. I didn't notice that just the other day. My Nellie Stevens little lollipops are looking really good. This is my arbor that I don't have anything on, but this is my deer fence. As you can see, it's kept the deer out some, but it hasn't prevented it completely. Can you see the line, the fishing line right here? And then I just cleaned out this box not too long ago. I did do this from seed. This is a hibiscus that's like a burgundy hibiscus. I'll have to look back at the seed name. But I just kind of like pulled a lot of stuff out. You couldn't even see any of my dahlias that I put in here. I had so much celosia in here, it was not funny. So a lot of the things that I did in seed just did not do great. And I think I do want to come back and put some sunflowers there. I think I've got enough time in my zone. That right there is feverfew, and I thought it was going to bloom and be gorgeous this year, but nope, it has not. This hasn't done well. I think that was called purple flower cone flowers, and it didn't do good either. So wah wah wah, just a complete failure of what I was thinking I was going to do this year. I do have a seedling that came back from last year, and that's about ready to pop out some tomatoes right there. As you can see, I've got some little flowers on that, and that was just a little seed from last year. So yeah, not really happy with what's going on in my above raised garden beds. So let me just kind of turn the camera, like point it towards, like up from the bottom of my garden all the way up, and this is what it's looking like. You could tell that we're on a hill. And I just really do love how it's like filled up this useful space, because it wouldn't have been able to do much else with the hill anyways. But the sprinter boxwoods are looking really good. I have a lot of new buds on my Eustacia Ave. This is a David Austin rose. I'm still battling some block spots, and I've came back and just kind of, like you can see right here, the black spots right here on this. And that's all I do. Is easier when you got gloves on, but that's all I did was just kind of pull these leaves off, and I removed them from the garden. I didn't like just let them lay right there on the floor. So anyways, that's what I've been doing this past week. Deadheading the roses, which looks pretty good right now. And then if I get black spot, which we've still had a lot of rain, try to remove these just like so. Like I said, it's easier when you got gloves on. So that's one of the tips that I have for you. I could come back and give this some fertilizer since we got lots of new buds. I could come and prune this back, but I think I'm going to wait until maybe early fall. Look how pretty this is and how soft it is. It's a pretty plant. This is the Sprinter boxwood from Proven Winners, and they do not stink. They do not flower. It is a Japanese Sprinter boxwood. And then this is Gabrielle oak. So like you can see, like every week I'm still getting some kind of black spot, no matter what. It's so humid and so hot here. And the flowers right now are kind of on the small side, and that's because we just don't get cool. Our nights just do not get cool. So their flowers are still kind of small in the summertime, a lot smaller than early spring or late fall. And you can see that I still need to come and deadhead. We've had rain this morning. So let's see. So let's come down here to the fire pit area. You can see where it just kind of comes down into the hill, and then it's all even up through here. I do need to clean up my bird bass. And then this was a newly planted container too. I planted this caladium, which is really gorgeous. This is a sun caladium. And then I did still have some of the super bells. I think this is called Great Punch. And then this one over here is indigo right there. This one's not doing great. So I don't know. That one looks like it's dying and needs to come out. And I already had some of this vinca vine in there from before, so I left that. And sometimes you just got to come in and just kind of pull these off and clean it up a little bit. Like I said, this one's not going to make it either. So that is that. And then I do need to probably come back and prune some of my hollies here. This is an Oakland holly. You see how it's got like a real big, tall spike right there. So you can prune those back. It's not going to hurt the tree at all. I have 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. So they've got some like new growth on them that need to be cut back too, just to kind of keep their shape. And then my Savannah garden over here, I do have a link to my Savannah garden if you're interested. I really do like this product. I got a lot of cosmos in there, some zinnias, and I'm supposed to have a lot of dahlias in there, believe it or not, which you cannot see because most of this came up from seed from last year. So I guess if you plant a zinnia or cosmos, and especially celosia, you're just going to continue to get blooms year after year because he dropped seed. And Gabrielle oak over here, no, this is I'm sorry, Alexandra of Kent. It's got some pretty blooms on it. They're just not really big. This one, Alexandra of Kent, has the biggest blooms of all, and more in the fall. So I'm excited to see that. I pruned back some of the phenomenal lavender for here in my zone. This is like pretty much the only lavender that does and thrives in our area. And then I got another quadrant right here. This is another David Austin rose called Boscabelle. And then in one of my videos, this is the Brazilian verbena that I grew. So I'm really excited about that for when it gets really tall and kind of exceeds. It'll like give me like a companion planting for these roses. So there is that. Sasha's up there in the corner. So I haven't done anything with the back of the house here. Might do something to that effect next year. It definitely needs to be painted because the sun hits it and the irrigation hits it as well. So it's faded. But you can see my view, like this is my view from inside. As you can see when I turn around, this is my view from inside. It's just gorgeous. I love my view. So that's something to think about is when you're planning out your gardens, is what view you have from inside. And this is the cottage garden. I had already pruned most of these annuals back and they're starting to do good. I had to spray them for BT and then I gave them some water-soluble food. The bees just love this Vermillionaire as well as the hummingbirds. So this is a Proven Winners plant called Vermillionaire. And then I have some super bells and some super petunias in here too, the yellow. I think I love this super petunia right here. This is what I grew from seed as well, and it's doing really good. This makes a really good cut flower too. I love the big giant orange. And this is a marigold, but to me, that does not look like a marigold to me. Isn't it beautiful? Agastache is doing really good right there. Oh, I pruned back my Baptisia because it had a lot of tintworm on it, so I had one there, and I'll show you the before and after picture. And I had one right there as well. My Mexican petunia, since I've pruned that back, maybe that will start to flower. And then some of my hostas underneath the tree there doing really good. Some of them have some burn on them and some don't. My Vigo garden, you guys, just did not do good. I need to do some research. Someone says that there is a stopper in here. Let me turn it over. But I have not done my research, so I don't know if I need to take this stopper out right here. I have to like figure it out. But anyways, see the snail right there? It's like, eee. Lots of snails this year too. I don't know why I have lots of snails. But anyways, that root rotted. Like it just had too much water and it all root rotted. Sasha, what are you doing? Are you stuck? She's stuck around. Since I do not have a fence and I did not want to have a fence, she does good on this soft leash right there. You're wondering why. You're wondering why I have that. So, all right, so let's see. Let me show you this begonia over here. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this begonia. This is something that does take shade though. This is a Proven Winners plant. Let me find the tag. But this one is called Proven Accents Pegasus. Gets 12 to 18 inches tall, part shade to shade, and it definitely does take shade. So this container that I have it in is a real pretty container. I don't have any kind of holes in there for it to drain, so I'm really careful about how much water that I put in there. But it's doing so pretty. So pretty. This container is doing really good with the Sun Coleus from Proven Winners right here. And I do love this combination right here of this Super Tunia right here with this accent. I don't have to, like I said, find all the names for you, and that's one of my goals in the next couple of weeks is to go over all the flowers that are in my containers so you guys know like what you would like to do for next year. And then some of my caladiums here are really pretty, and the apple blossom blooms on these begonias are just breathtaking. Gorgeous. Look at this. Look how pretty they are, you guys. Like even on the underside of the flower, it's really pretty. And I love this combination together. And this is full sun. So these are some begonias and this one is too. And then I have it underneath this, not geranium. I have geranium in my head every time I talk about this flower. Shoot, I'm just gonna have to throw it up on the screen because I cannot think of it right now. Gardenia. This is a gardenia. It doesn't have any flowers on it currently. So we got some rain, so my fountain's full. I do need to come over here and deadhead this David Austin rose. I have a couple of grasses. And then for some reason, Sasha likes to eat that lungwort. I have no idea why she likes to do that. I pulled this up from my Galloway urn and I need to plant that. That spurge needs to be replanted. And then I came back and pruned everything. All the Gara, all the tall phlox, all of that's been pruned. Isn't this a real pretty hosta right there? I love that. And then this summer and snow jasmine's really pretty. Now my friend Dawn across the street that's in my videos sometimes, she has this in the ground and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I need to put some of this in the ground. and the colors on it are just breathtaking. And I also found this plant right here at the Daniel Stowe's Botanical Garden. I'm gonna throw pictures up of how gorgeous this is, planted like in a large hedge or just one whole mass planting. It was just beautiful, you guys. This is my favorite grass so far that I have in my garden, is this carex. I just love it. Beautiful. Not much else to talk about over on this little area right here. So not too long ago, I pruned everything back. I pruned the Walker's Low catmint back, and it's starting to put a lot of growth on. This purple, I don't know if this is an agastache or if this is, it might be salvia. Let me see what this is. Salvia Love and Wishes. It's a real pretty bloom. Need to get a better tag for that. You could see, like, this is some of the tags that I have right here, the little copper tags. I really do like those. My little lantana tree is doing okay. Just really hasn't put out a lot of buds. Maybe I need to give it some fertilizer. Let's see, some of the coneflowers have kind of already done their little business, and I would like to plant more. I had a whole bunch in this area, and some of them didn't come back this year. I think I got a garden friend. Look how they just mix in so good. Hey buddy, what you doing on that plant? Huh? What you doing? And then I absolutely do love this candy corn spirea. Look at all the pretty colors on it, you guys. Isn't that breathtaking? Where it doesn't even have flowers, but just the foliage on it is so, so pretty. And then I have a climbing vine that's the black-eyed Susan. And I bought this bare root, and it's not grown as well as I would have liked, as I would have planted a plant. So that's something to think about. Like, I think the plant's better than just bare root. So maybe by the end of the season, it'll do really, really good. I love the puffer fish back here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me show you. The puffer fish, you can see that little puff of on the top of the hydrangea. Now they have not been floppy whatsoever. So loving that plant right now. So you would think that it would have flopped over too, but maybe it's because it's a little bit more airy and the blooms aren't as heavy, but still beautiful. My lilac tree's doing really pretty. This hardy hydrangeum's really not done much. Kind of disappointed in that, but maybe it's because it was just covered with all this nepeta and stuff. Who knows? I got some lantana that I planted this past year. It's doing okay. And then all the sun-loving annuals too are all right there. They're looking good. Oh, you guys. So one of my subscribers, or the people that watch, said to make sure that I gave my butterflies like some kind of drinking station. And I'm like, well, what is that detail? And I was at the Daniel Stowe Botanical Garden, and of course, inside their butterfly bungalow, they had pictures of like why you needed, you know, a hydration station for them. So I need to come back and put some water. So I saw this little unique stone bunny with this, it's kind of like a sunflower. Look how pretty that is. And I was like, well, that would be perfect. So I'll throw up pictures of why you need like a little station for your butterflies and bees for them to drink. So never really thought about that before. So that's something to think about. Some hostas. This one stays really small, wrinkle and thyme, and then has some astilbes. And oh, this is probably my most favorite thing in the cottage garden right now, and I need some more. Look at this agapanthus. Look at this color, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? And this one is called Ever Midnight Agapanthus. But isn't it beautiful? So I definitely need a few more of those in the garden. You can see the tall verbena back there. It's not really thick right now, but it will continue to get thick year after year. I don't really have any daylilies blooming right now. These flowers aren't doing much in this container. Let's see. These yellow begonias are really doing good since we've got a lot of water. This peachy verbena is not doing all that great, so hopefully it'll start putting out some new flowers. I could give it some plant food. And look at this lantana. This is gorgeous, right? This came back from last year. It's beautiful. It makes a really big presence in the garden right now. And I just love the colors on it. Very, very pretty and striking. And then I cleaned a lot of this up too. So the bees are loving it too. Look at the moth. I often see the butterflies on this, very often, so butterflies do love lantana. Look at the bee. And let's see, so this rose is doing okay. I see stink bugs on it. Look, that's what a stink bug looks like right there. You guys see it, like right underneath that leaf, right there. Let me show you the blooms on this. They're just like a real soft pink bloom. This is Olivia. And this one was not doing great, and I pruned it all the way back. It seemed like it just wants to get fungus real early in the season. And this is called Celebration. Usually the blooms are so much bigger than this. And the deer ate all that one, so I got some new growth on it. And then I pruned back my clematis, and it's starting to shoot up some new growth right there. So clematis you can cut back and get another flush. And then this is the climbing rose up on this trellis right here, and it's doing good. And then of course what's really showy, or has been really showy, are these Rose of Sharons. These are a great screening plant as well. If you want something that gives you a lot of color and blooms all summer long, and that you don't mind them being like sticks in the wintertime, these are great. So once they get developed and grown, these have been in my garden for 5 years now. So, and it's taller than me. It will get 12 feet tall. I've got 4 of these in my garden currently. And then this dahlia is really, really pretty. It was just a decorative small dwarf dahlia. Loving that. You guys, I've planted so many dahlia tubers, and I'm just really kind of been disappointed. This is my last year that I'll probably put them in the grow bag. So next year I'm going to put them in the ground. Well, let's see what we have over here. So I've got, you can tell I've got several grow bags, and I put dahlias in them. This one's coming out brand new. It's the first time I've seen that color. I feel like everybody else is just ahead of me so much with the dahlias. I don't know. But these are some of the blooms that I have right now. That looks very similar to what I have planted in the garden. And then look at the celosia. All this came up from seed, you guys. And I've just been pulling and pulling, but I've got dahlias in there. So many dahlias. I'm gonna have to come back and just get rid of all this celosia. And it drops so much seed, you guys. It's just freaking crazy. Like, look, see all that seed, those little black things? So it just drops seed constantly. I got all kinds of little bugs in there. Do you see all the seed? So anyways, yeah, but it's pretty. I'm not saying it's not pretty. I'm glad that I didn't bank on making money on my bouquets this year, because I haven't really had that much. Look at these really dark ones, are beautiful. Let's come over here. You can see I'm right on my property line right here. The bees all over the celosia. It's pretty. But I have got so many dahlias in here. So here's one that's about ready to bud out. So I'm gonna have something on that. So I just need to come and expose all my dahlias in here. I've got so many of them, but I just don't see any. And here, look at this mess right here. But look at the zinnias. That's pretty. do have some tall zinnias back here. Let's see what I got up here. This is the lime, I think, queen lime. And, oh, this one's really pretty. Right there. So you can see that they're tall. Yeah, and I can't see hardly any dahlias in there. Like I said, I just need to get, there's some in there. There's one right here. So I need to clean it out like I cleaned my other one out. Do love that cosmos right there. Isn't that beautiful? All right. And I'm not sure, these had so much water, and I don't know what's going on with this. I hope this tree makes it. Hope it does. Really wet down here. I have some of the Rebecca that's bloomed. They're really pretty. And the yarrow looks striking too. This one's supposed to be a yellow yarrow. Yellow yarrow. I had some lilies that I planted in here. Cut back all the catmint. And then that's where I cut back all the clematis, and you can see that it's growing new growth. This rose of Sharon's beautiful. Usually have bees all over it, like all over it normally. I have some dahlias that grew back from last year in here. This is the Temple of Bloom shrub or tree. So it's gonna have to grow quite a bit before I get to make it look like a tree form, right? And then this dahlia has been in the garden for years, and you can see how it's all plopped over. I kept saying I was gonna come stake it and did not, but look how beautiful that bloom is. I need to come save this one so I can bring it inside. Gorgeous. There's another dahlia over there. And then this is what this magenta one looks like. And then I have a blue chiffon over there. All right, so the cryptomera trees are doing really, really pretty. And I am scared that they're gonna get so big that I'm gonna have nothing but that in the garden. But the lucky thing is that the roots must grow deep because I was able to plant underneath them. So I can come back and plant like all kinds of hostas and whatever else still underneath there. So I'm excited about that. And it still gets a lot of sun over there because of the way the sun comes up. So I think that pretty much covers all this area right here. Where are you going, Sasha? Where you going? All right, let's go on the side of the house. And like I said, I had to prune a lot of the dahlias over here from Florette Farm. The air conditioner is on. This container is really pretty. I love the combination of those in there. I do have some geraniums, and this is, oh, okay, you guys tell me what it is because I can't think of the name right now, but it's beautiful with all the variegation on it. My Hinoki's doing really good in there. Corabelles. I'm gonna have to try to save these geraniums for next year. I'm gonna try to win them over. And this coral bark maple's doing good. But what I was gonna tell you, I had to cut a lot of these back because when I came back from vacation, everything was just completely over into the sidewalk. And I like to keep my sidewalk clear. Let's see if we can find some pretty blooms over here. The zinnias are just small and not as big as I think they should be. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? Look at this dahlia right here. Look how intricate that flower is. Isn't it pretty? It's pretty tall. I got some up here too. And these are a little bit different color. They haven't came all the way out yet. Look at this. Well, they're just small, as you can see. They're just not as big as I was expecting these blooms to be. Celosia. I'm going to have celosia growing forever. This is the floret celosia. And then the cut flowers that I had right here, the Gaillardia I just pulled up. I would never do that again. And I'm actually debating whether I want to do zinnias on the side garden over here because it gets so much powdery mildew. But look at my eucalyptus. Isn't it kind of cool? That's where I cut it off and it branched back off. I do really think this is kind of cute in the garden. Lisianthus, oh my gosh, like I will plant a ton more of the Lisianthus seeds. They take forever, and I am telling you forever to grow, like pretty much 9 months. I've had these from seed starting in January, so I'll start them earlier next year. But oh my gosh, they're so beautiful, and I'm gonna plant just a ton of different varieties. They're pretty just in the garden, and they last forever, and they last in the vase forever too. So if you've never done Lisianthus, I highly, highly recommend that you do that. Look, this celosia came back from 2 years ago. Is that not crazy? 2 years ago. I did grow this from seed, and I was gonna have like a whole drift of it, but it didn't do very well, as you could see. But it's okay, I have some of it. Look what the celosia does in my garden. Look at all these little seedlings. You guys, I'm gonna be pulling that out forever. Camellia's doing good. More celosia, more zinnias. This color's pretty. Right there. Some more, this zinnia is really pretty too, you guys. And then more of the dahlias right here. Look at this one. I think I enjoy these more in my garden than I do in the vase because they just don't seem like they last very long in the vase life, for me anyways. I have a red bud that someone gifted me. I need to replant this tree. I'm not sure if I want to do it now or wait till the fall. But that's what this little skinny side garden's looking like. And like I said, I'm not sure if I want to do this next year. I don't know. I think I liked just planting my annuals there. And then I don't know, in my last garden tour, I cut some of this and pruned that. This area would be really, really pretty with that summer and snow, just nothing but covering that would be gorgeous. So I'm gonna consider doing that. But we have our trash cans right here, which we're not supposed to show from the road, but that's why this holly needs to be there. And my husband didn't really like that I pruned it down so up, but it just kind of needed it. Like I said, I'm going to come back with the summer and snow jasmine if I can get my hands on it, which I've seen a lot of it in the nurseries. And this ornamental I think it's oregano, is just beautiful. Look at this. And it's so pretty. Love it. And this is, I think, the second year too. Second year for that. This container is just doing okay. That's all you really see is a lot of potato vine. The jasmine I thought would take off. This cashmere pink is really a big workhorse. I don't know if I'll really pair it with anything else, but it's grown okay in this atmosphere, but I'm going to show you in another atmosphere that it just completely took over. And this is my most favorite of all areas right now. Look at the caladiums and the sun impatiens. Aren't they just beautiful? Dawn did give me some gomphrena, so I have a little bit of gomphrena right there. But I just love the caladiums mixed in with these sun impatiens, you guys. And like I said, it is hot, it's humid, and look at all the color that this just gives. It's beautiful. All of this is on drip, but just doing really, really happy. I'm not sure why this swoop right here has not got a lot of color, but you can see there's just a ton of buds in there. So I do come and kind of clean it out just a little bit. And this is my whoops. I had a blush and I didn't realize there was a orchid blush and a pink blush. But I think I had the pink blush last year with the white, and I love it. I do think it's so pretty. So whatever color like I try to coordinate with in the front is what I try to do. So I had, you know, the jazzberries and some of the light pinks in here. So I tried to pull out that purple color here to match my jazzberries and the hoopla orchid. So I do have some of the cat mint there too. That's cat's pajamas. It stays a little bit on the smaller side. These containers are my favorite, just my absolute favorite. I love this one. This combination's really, really pretty with the jazzberry and the hoopla and these angel face. They're just so pretty. They almost look like snapdragons. These have bloomed all summer long, you guys. All summer. I'll definitely do that next year too. Look how pretty it is. It'd be pretty with the pink too. And I'm excited about some of the new petunias that are coming out next year. Now, maybe I've done an oops up here, but I'm gonna let you know, show you what I did. I had the pink cashmere and I planted 2 on here, and then I had 10 of the mini Vista whites like all through here. Well, these completely just took over, so I pruned them back, and I was hoping that I could get like a reflush with my mini Vista whites, and they were just gone because they just had not had so much sun. So that's a fail. I will never do that again. I will plant the cashmere pink again, which I think this will come back for me. So I may have to like prune it back, but you can see where I pruned, I've got new growth here. So I'm gonna leave these and hopefully they'll reflush back, but I wish I didn't prune them back. But I also wish that I'd never put in the mini vistas with these. So lesson learned, these will completely cover your mini vistas. Now if I put the snowdrift, I don't know what that would have done, but the mini vistas, it just covered. And another mistake, this is supposed to be a dwarf, you guys. This whole potato vine was supposed to be a dwarf. That does not look like a dwarf to me at all. So it completely covered all of my petunias that are in there, the jazzberries and everything. So I'm embracing it right now, that next year I will not plant this potato vine in my containers. Now I do think if you had a big rock wall and it hung over, this would be a beautiful setting for that. But for me, I'm not going to do that next year. Maybe I'll do the lemon coral sedum to give me some of that color. These boxwoods do need to be pruned back, and you guys, can you tell a difference in this front yard? Do you see any difference? So me and my husband worked on pruning this rose back and got it all pruned back. And then everybody told me I need to take some weight off of this holly right here. So let me come around and show you. So I took all this weight off down here, you guys. So you can tell where I cut this, that, all of those were limbs, and this is what's left. So my husband is going to come and shape that up a little bit more, but we just kind of ran out of time the other day. So do you like it better? I hope you do. I'm positive that I do. Now my husband was worried because in the wintertime this is going to be gone, but I still have enough green. I still have this, and I still have my boxwoods. Of course, this is going to be like pruned back too in the wintertime, but that's fine. I think I'll have enough green over here to still show off the garden. And if not, this is the perfect time to reassess, like in the wintertime, to see if you have enough winter interest. But look at the cashmere pink here, you guys, like beautiful. And this is, I almost wished I did nothing but the white mini vistas in the front and did not put the pink cashmere. So that's probably what I'll do next year. Sun hostas, look how beautiful these are. Look how big they are. Look, it's got so much water on them. But it's beautiful. At least this one still has a good like structure. I'm trying to scoot back for you to let you look at it. At least it has still a good structure. And then that one's all flopped over completely. All right, so let's go on down. This is what I call my west side garden. And I developed this garden because it would not grow sod because we're between two houses. So nothing did good. The sod did not do good. And so I just made it all into a flower bed so we don't have to like mow up on the hill either. And then most people voted this was like their favorite garden because it is up on a hill and it will just displays everything beautifully. So I came back and pruned and pruned and pruned. I worked on this one day from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, you guys. Just getting in there and just doing nothing but pruning. So I did prune all of the salvia back, and it will like flush back in no time. I promise you, in 2 weeks, they're gonna have like big, gorgeous blooms again. So I pruned those back, and I pruned some of that rose, rambling rose back. I did cut some of the old blooms off these hydrangeas here. And they're about ready to put on some new growth. And then I got rid of, I had 3 of these lilac hardy hibiscus in here, and I just did not like it. It was just one big blob of green. So, I mean, the flowers on them are gorgeous. I do love that. I just did not like it in this setting, which I thought this was going to be my highlight. I had this standard lime hydrangea tree and the one behind me, and then whatever in the middle was going to be my big pop of color, and it just did not do that for me. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I have a lot of the buddleia right here, the blue. So I thought maybe some barberry, some yellow or orange barberry, or something with yellow in it for some more color would be really, really pretty. I just don't know exactly what I'm gonna do yet, and when I find it, I'll let you know. Like, we might have to go on a hunt for it. But I did prune everything back. I still have some ones that I missed. And I'm not sure I'm gonna leave that one. I don't think that I am. Look at that daylily up there, isn't it really pretty? This is some of the oregano that I grew as a filler for my flowers. So I'm finally getting growth on that. And then I had to really cut back my buddleias back pretty hard. And then this is just all weeping or wonked over, however you want to say it. But when these start to dry naturally, and they start to feel like more like paper instead of really soft, then I can prune these back and I'll save them for my Christmas tree. And I'll show you my Christmas tree last year. And that's all you got to do is leave them naturally, and they're just gorgeous. So I'll show that in a video. So if you've got some big blooms like that, you might want to save them for your Christmas tree. And let's see, coming over here, these are Munstead Wood David Austin roses. I've got 4 of those. You can see the buds on those. See, these are the deepest red blooms that I have in my garden. Look at this. Isn't that pretty? And then the sage, Russian sage, doing really pretty. This is not denim and lace, you guys. My denim and lace from Proven Winners did not do good. I think this was called Baby Jean, and it did really good in my garden. So if you find something that doesn't do good, try a different variety and it may do better. And for me, this did better in my garden than the Proven Winners did. And then the Serendipity is really pretty. It's so funny how the other side has been bloomed out for a while and this one's just starting to bloom out. Look at the hens and chicks. Look at that lemon coral seed on them. Isn't that pretty? And then I had another hardy hibiscus here. I'm going to completely pull that out. So I got most of that foliage out. And I'll have to decide what I want to do there. I don't think I need anything tall because I have these tea olives right here that are tall. And I put them there for screening between me and my neighbor so we can have some more privacy on the porch there. And then I have this magnolia tree right here that gives me some height, plus the crepe myrtles. So I don't think I need anything really tall in this space anymore. So, and then I do have one lavender left, the Sweet Romance lavender. It just does not like thrive, so I won't buy any of that anymore. But if you buy lavender here in my zone, Charlotte, North Carolina, zone 8, get the phenomenal lavender. It does better. And then the winter daphne looks really, really pretty too. I had to stake it up, as you can see. These are my stakes right here. And I did buy these from Gardner Supply, these scalloped ones. Really like those. And I just have a bunch of salvia and whatever through here. Oh, I have to share with you, this clematis is finally starting to bloom. And look how beautiful it is. Look at the blooms on that. So it's just now starting to come out with some blooms. And let me tell you what this one is. It is called Summer Snow Clematis. Very pretty. You can see where it's all, the trees kind of all wonked over. And I planted this one on purpose too because I can see this in my living room, you guys. So be careful when you start to plant, like what you want to see when you look out your windows. And this clematis, I've got two growing up here. I have a couple blooms on it. Let me show you. Look at that bloom right there. Isn't it pretty? Even the spent blooms are really kind of crazy. I love the spent blooms on it too. So I think this is different and unique. I would do this again. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? I love it. Climbing on this obelisk, and I had one over there that was white. Beautiful. Let's see if I can find the name for this one for you guys. Have it down here. Here's the name for you. However you say that. Make mental note of it. Here you go. Here you can like stop and pause and take a picture there. Love my tags. I love coneflowers in the garden too. I can't ever have enough of those. Some came back and some didn't. Let's see what it looks like on the other side over here. This one's a kind of a peachy yellow rose called Thomas Graham. This one doesn't do as many blooms as the other one, but when it does bloom, it's beautiful. Just gorgeous. Always have some kind of water source in your garden. And then these are junipers. I have two different kinds in here. This one's prickly. I don't really like the touch of this one, but this one right here is not so bad. I like this one. It's more golden color. It's kind of prickly too though. This peachy agastacheus is really pretty. Agastache. You can see some of my hellebores there. Spurge, that blue spurge is really pretty. Another of that hibiscus I grew from seed, and you can see like all of the marigolds over there that I grew from seed. I do not like marigolds, but those are beautiful. They have yellow ones that are like that too. And oh, by the way, I did like a winter gardening jug for those, and they didn't do good. I had to do those inside. That was just my experience anyways. Just to let you know. You can see the deer fence coming up all the way over here. This lantana came back from last year. I planted like 10 of these and I had one come up, you guys, just one. So that's a hit and miss. And look at the little puff on top of these puffer fishes. Aren't they cute? The little puff that's just right on top of them. I would plant this in mass. I think it would be gorgeous. Gorgeous. This is my pink Rose of Sharon. I probably need to move that. It's probably not in a good space. It's going to get tall. This is my Joe Pye weed or butterfly weed. It's never bloomed. I've never seen blooms on it, nor do I have any caterpillars on it whatsoever, but oh well. And then coming down here, you can see the two different types of junipers that I have. Now, when I developed this garden, I had no intention of YouTubing whatsoever, and I probably would have done something a little bit different on this edge, but it's on a hill and I needed something, you know, for erosion over here, so that's what I did, and that's what I got. This came from Miss Eileen, that butterfly weed. It's doing pretty. And there is some of that tall verbena that I told you that I have. I need to get some more of that. Actually, Eileen just texted me the other day and said they had a whole shipment of them come in from Pikes. So I need to make my way to Pikes the next couple of days. And that's what this is looking like on this side. This is the lilac double chiffon. Isn't that pretty? Now these last one day, oh, that scared me as well because I didn't see the bumblebee in there. So these last one day, but look at all the buds on them, you guys. Just so many buds. Look at how the bumblebees love it. Can you see it in there? I love how they got all their little butts just filled with pollen. Isn't it pretty? I can't see if I can show you on camera or not. Look at this one. Bees love it. Love it, love it, love it. Beautiful flower. Some of my dahlias over here. That's a pretty one. Look at the blue chiffon. Isn't it pretty with that red or deep, whatever you call it, magenta or red throat right there? It's pretty. And then I have a whole little drift of foxgloves that I did from seed. They're doing good. So I think they'll be really pretty next year. So sometimes we just have to be patient in our garden. And the first year that we plant stuff might not be gorgeous, but the second year it could be, right? This garden is only not even 6 years old. Love it. Love it. So it's hot, it's humid today. I know everybody's been in a major heat wave. I saw a unique bird over here. Let's go see if I can find him. Oh, I don't know what kind of bird he is, but he's beautiful. Let me see if I can find him. He went up here in this tree. Oh, I don't see him. He's hiding. Oh well. Can't find him. Look at the bees loving this Russian sage. So I wanted to share with you, the other day I was listening to Jim Hortube, I think it's how you say his name. I'll throw his channel up. And he also is in my gardening zone, but he's in Raleigh, about 3 hours away from me. But he had like a big garden tour and a lot of people come through his garden and they were just amazed of how much bees or pollinators that he had in his garden. And he says that you just can't plant one or two things and expect the pollinators to stay with you all the time, that you have to like constantly have flowers all the time. So just to kind of give you a heads up, if you want pollinators in your garden all the time, make sure you got something flowering all the time for them so they can stay around. All right, guys, I'm going to stop here in this beautiful hydrangea. Look how gorgeous it is. It's just beautiful. I just love it. It's just, I love these limelight hydrangeas and how big the beautiful blooms are. No wonder they're so heavy and droop down. But anyways, last year, like I said, I didn't have this problem. They pretty much stood upright, but your garden's different year after year and you just never know what Mother Nature's going to throw at you. But get out and enjoy your garden. Even though if you don't YouTube, just get out and like video your garden or take pictures of your garden every single month, because then you can see the changes and like what you might want to improve on your garden year after year. So yeah, I love gardening. I love coming and sharing it with you guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I really, really appreciate all of you guys that do like and share. I'm trying to grow my channel, so make sure you share it with other people that love gardening if they don't know about me yet. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.